Welcome to Poets from the Neighborhood. I am David M. Harris.
And I'm Kathryn Adams. We hope you'll enjoy the poems we'll be reading today, poems written by your friends and neighbors. Look for the Good, written by me, Kathryn Adams. Along life's way, hurts, disappointments, and sorrows, guess I have become somewhat jaded, mistrusting, seeing so much hate, so much division. But recently I was reminded to look for the good in everyone, including myself, to find the nuggets of gold or good, find happiness and fulfillment. I learned I have to search for it. The human eye of crude judgment, the lens of prejudiced hate, pain, unforgiveness, envy. Only through a microscope can you truly see the fire in an opal. It is like precious flecks of gold in a stream, brilliant rubies in a mine. Each have to be cleaned and polished to shine their brightest. With our human eyes, we have no possible way to see the diamond in the field. As a jeweler myself with a trained eye to see carat, color, clarity, and cut that gives each its brilliance and price, of each unique one of a kind diamond. Different colors, nations, creeds, and cultures, like shiny pearls, each one unique. Who but God, the all-seeing, the all-knowing jeweler, can put a price on the worth of a soul? Looking through God's all-seeing eyes to see the kaleidoscope of all human beings of his creation. Only then, and if I ask for his help to see, can I but glimpse the divine brilliance and worth in each soul. These rare, precious jewels, when observed, unearthed, treasures are even more valuable. Jewels of kind words, compliments, and love, when they are recognized, savored, spoken, and shared, reveal the true diamond.
Estate Sale, a poem of my own. Her husband trailed her in, unwilling and uninterested in old furniture, but her eyes went bright, her hand went out and touched the lacquered curves, caressed the blacks and whites, and finally she sat down. She played. While selling out my mother's flat, I'd heard a chord or two, some awkward scales, but no one played. This woman fell into the appassionata. Her husband heard the price and frowned. They talked, and I saw in her eyes the story of their marriage and his refusals. I waited and held still, thinking of my parents' marriage and my own, until he turned to me and said, "I'll need to get the truck and 2 strong friends."
The Girl Behind Nancy by Rebecca Yancey. Mrs. McSweeney hulks like a hippo behind the scarred oak desk. Her ample hips ooze over the sides of the chair, her arms cocked, ready for a fight as she surveys the class for a victim. She has just gotten test scores measuring our progress in math. Careless, she says, careless, careless, careless. Not a brain in your heads. Her laser eyes narrow as she searches the room. The boy in the front row slide down in their seats. But then she straightens up, flings out her arms to point at me. "You," she says, shaking her finger. "You, the girl behind Nancy. I wish I had a million like you."
Another poem of my own. Dead Letter Office, Spencer Brown. Dear Spencer, even before I learned that you were dead, I used to miss those horror movie marathons in front of your TV. You filled and passed the pipe, and we tried to pretend we were still in the cave-like place on George Street, undergrads, comrades in the movement and amusement. I missed the long sessions of games, Crazy Eights and Canasta, your lengthy updates on people at your library I'd never met. Even your condescension bound me there. My mother used to say that everyone needed one friend they didn't like. I lost my ties with all the gang from Rutgers, lastly you, and then forgot to miss you. But chains can rust from disuse without breaking. You died before the Great Migration to Facebook and the cloud. Tony too, but I see BJ and Sid there now, floating amid the 21st century links. What had been was good enough for you and me. Acid and Woodstock, nights of Revolution and Richie Havens. Then our friendship slipped into past tense, and then so did you.
Magical Fairy Symphony and Ballet, written by me, Kathryn Adams. The breeze wraps me like a warm hug, sitting here snug as a bug in a rug. On the porch swing in the balmy summer air, relaxing with hardly a care. Excited, I sit and wait for the performance to begin. The angel chimes softly blow in the wind. The conductor nods his head and taps his wand. The fireflies light up the stage in their glow, and the katydid's song ebbs and flows. Start the song of the lonely dove, looking for its lost love. The hummingbirds hum along. The whippoorwill sings her haunting melody. The frogs croak the bass part. The crickets click in harmony, and the katydids ebb and flow. In the second act, there's the flight of the bumblebee. I see the fairies as they dance on the breeze, as the princess looks and waits for her prince. He makes his grand entrance. Finally, they give each other their hearts for eternity. Together, off they fly. As the stars make their debut, like fireworks shoot across the sky, I make a wish for you and I. As nature performs her rhapsody, it's all magical and free. I'd rather be here than a big, majestic symphony. In the grand finale, as if on cue, the angels join in the chorus, rejoicing in the heavenly hue. The sun takes a bow and slips from view.
Dear Sally by VeerajaR, a poem dedicated to her mentor, Dr. S.R. Lee. You are in my thoughts almost every day, always in my prayers, right there, when I write poems, thinking what you might say. If I was destined to be a poet, some would have said I got my father's genes, but all I knew was that love of words, an essential tonic. My mother instilled the taste for poetry, sipped with cups of tea, and that's then in Ceylon. If I ever believed in angels, you are one, in my life, shining the light to a path I never dared or imagined possible. But here I am in the US, being called a poet, among poets, by poets, and standing proudly, all because of you, taking me under your wings. I'm always thinking what you might say when I write each poem. Thank you for watching Poets from the Neighborhood. We hope you'll join us again soon.